Welcome to the new episode of FAW Around the World. In this video, we are here with the FTC team, Royal Robotics, which is from Texas, USA. So I'm starting with the first question. What's the story behind your team? How was it founded?
All right, so 9840 Royals has been around for some time. It was founded at the same time as Engineers of Olympus. Many of us actually came over from Engineers of Olympus. It's basically a sister team at our school, along with Ironclad. So with our school, a lot of us have been throughout various teams. Personally, I've also been on Engineers. The two next to me have also been on Engineers, and now we're just on Royals because Engineers is usually a rookie team. And then when you progress in your high school career, you move on to another team pretty much.
That's great.
What's FTC and what are some basic differences between FRC and FTC?
So I haven't looked too much into FRC itself. I just know that you guys have bigger robots. It looks a bit more complicated too. FTC is focused about, basically, I would say it's maybe a smaller FRC in a way, but they're both really similar in a lot of ways.
Cool, yes.
Okay, so how do you manage this pandemic?
Sorry?
How do you manage this pandemic?
Last year, we actually had to end up going on hiatus, which we didn't have enough time with Corona because it affected Houston pretty heavily. We had to spend a lot of time at home and we couldn't have as much meetings because of all the requirements with people being around each other. So we just went on hiatus last year with a couple of other teams in our school.
Okay, how does the Royal Robotics team structures work?
So generally we have the building team with the programmer working really closely. PR is also a lot of our builders and programmers, we do take part in PR as well, just so we give a first person view into everything that's happening with our team to show that what we're all doing together.
Okay, so what are the advantages and disadvantages of being a big team?
Being a big team, if most of the people don't know each other, information is harder to get to everybody, or it's not it's not as direct, if you know what I mean. Because my first year in robotics, back in 10th grade 2 years ago, there were just 6 people on our team, and now we have around 11. So with being a smaller team, it's a lot more tight-knit in a way, but there's definitely less people that you can rely on for certain things.
Cool. So what do you look for in a person that wants to join the team, your team?
Well, what our school looked for is for people who have shown consistent academic proficiency, good grades. They've been in clubs with teams before. They know how to work with one another. Those are pretty much the most important features for at least our school when they were looking for who to recruit to the robotics team. Yeah.
Thank you.
How do you prepare yourself before the competition?
Before the competition, we do usually spend a lot of time at school before the competition, making sure all the programs are working right. Nothing's wrong with the encoders. We make sure that our notebooks are fully set up, all the pages are printed, laminated. And yeah, we just honestly just spend a lot of time making sure that everything's in place so that the day of the competition, we don't have to worry about finding any materials and other stuff.
What was the biggest challenge you had to face?
The biggest challenge is probably, for me personally, because it's programming, you have to wait for the builders to finish, and then you have to, only then can you start programming. And oftentimes I find myself doing that right before competition, having to perfect everything, because building does take a long time. Materials take a long time to come. So a lot of the things do end up happening last minute in a way, but we do spend a lot of time planning it.
Okay.
Also for PR, I would say finding sponsorships, because I feel really embarrassed when I'm going to random places and asking if you guys can sponsor me or something. Yeah, I think that in the first when you're first starting the the gear and everything, that was
It's hard for us as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Can you talk about your future dreams about the team?
Well, we are all seniors, so we just want the Royal Robotics team, to be filled with a lot of hardworking members last year to carry on the legacy, the traditions, and everything else. Yeah.
Okay. So Jenkins, you can.
Okay, lastly, would you like to give an advice to all members of the first community? It would be great if we can hear three of yours answer.
Some advice I would give is just to get really close with your team so that you all just have a good chemistry with one another.
Exactly.
You guys know what to do together.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that, to be honest, just getting to know who your teammates are
Yeah.
and how they work.
Bonding is really important, like Elise said, and I would say pretty much the same thing actually. Like having a good team, I think it's really important because last year it was online. I couldn't really see anybody, so we couldn't get much work done, right?
Yeah.
But this year, I think since it's in person, we all get to know each other and spend time together, also work on stuff. Yeah, I think being friendly and like bonding with your team like activities outside of robotics is really also important to develop like your chemistry.
They're also working hard. Like if you feel like you're in a tough spot, just don't give up on your team and don't give up on the competition. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, don't give up on the competition because you're gonna get a lot of benefits out of it later, and it'll all like be worth it.
Yes,
And-
communication, in my opinion, is the most important.
And like seeing the robot just work towards the end as builder, it feels really good. So it's really important to put all your effort into it.
Mhm. Cool. Okay, that's all our questions. Thanks for watching us. Thanks also to Royal Robotics for this interview.
Of course.
Of course. Thank you guys so much for meeting with us and asking your excellent questions. We had so much fun.
Yeah, me too.
And me too.